Hi guys, I'm Sean. This is Alyssa. Gus is in our hearts, and this is Internet Rabbit Hole Daily. And we are back reacting to more content related to Hinduism and I guess the creation of the universe, according to Hinduism.
We reacted to a very short video about the Hindu creation story, but this is going to be way more in depth. It's called How the Universe Was Created According to Hinduism. So yeah, we know a little bit of...
We've done a couple of these videos, but it's just, unfortunately, guys, we do, one video on the creation legend or the creation story. And then it's so long before we do another one that we kind of forget a lot of the bits and pieces. So we're going to try and do more of this so that we can actually retain some of this information.
The other one I watched, I just remember, wasn't it like Shiva? With the hair.
Yeah. And that's sort of like the Milky Way.
Yeah, the Milky Way.
And like
is
the water in the hair shimmering
was
all the different stars, I think, and galaxies and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think this will help it get a lot more cemented.
Yes. That's because that's what we need. And in fact, I'm thinking like, I got to read a book or listen. I generally listen to audiobooks. I got to get something on Hinduism so that I can really start to retain this. So we appreciate you guys being so patient with us as we sometimes review the same information and still forget.
Yes, and this is from Indian Monk. So thank you.
Nice.
Should we read the description or? Oh, okay. It's just sort of asking the question of
we'll flash it up on the screen there.
How is the world created?
Puzzled mankind. How was it created? And who is responsible for creation? In Hinduism, there are many theories about how the universe was created in the earliest days.
There's many theories.
Let's explore some of them. In Hinduism, the universe is not one single entity. There are an infinite number of universes that are constantly being created and destroyed. In other words, we live in a universe that belongs to a multiverse.
We've heard about some of this
universe
before.
Will ultimately die,
Watch video.
but the multiverse lives on. Lord Vishnu is a personification of this multiverse. According to Hinduism, Lord Vishnu was asleep in the cosmic ocean of all causes before the creation of the universe. His bed is a giant serpent with thousands of cobra-like hoods. The universe was created in a triad of roles: creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Lord Vishnu is the maintainer. Lord Brahma is the creator. Lord Shiva is the destroyer.
Oh,
The universe was created through the actions of Lord Vishnu, who slept and let a lotus bloom from his navel. The lotus stem represents the creation of the universe, while Brahma is found at the flower's center and represents the creator. The time it takes for one universe to be created and the next one to end is also the duration of one breath of Lord Vishnu.
One breath.
When he exhales, thousands of universes come into being and a new Brahma is born in each one. But when Lord Vishnu inhales, all universes get sucked in and Brahma dies. Lord Brahma represents the universe that we live in. He creates all life forms and is responsible for the physical world that we live in. Lord Vishnu is the personification of the eternal multiverse. He is responsible for the continuation of life in all universes. Brahma is the representation of our temporary physical universe, while Vishnu is the representation of the eternal multiverse that exists forever without any beginning or end.
I love the breath thing because when you do the ocean breath,
is that
like a breathwork class?
Okay.
It's like never ending. It's like don't pause at all. It's like in and out, and it's like the ocean. It's just it's the cycle on and on and on.
Yeah, so clearly, one breath would be like billions of years, for us, but just sort of one breath for the God.
The exhale, and then it begins again, and then it.
Yeah. And there has been that sort of oscillating theory of the universe where, it sort of gets, the Big Bang happens and everything concentrates back to a point and starts over again. That's
what I believe, like in reincarnation, and like I feel like we it comes full circle
Well,
at the end of the day.
Now, what science seems to be saying these days is that things are actually moving outwards and spreading thinner and thinner and thinner. But there's also theories. The multiverse theory now, of course, is legitimate science with a lot of people who following string theory, or as I understand, it's called M theory as well too. So it's really interesting to see how this ties into all that.
Yeah, this is a really good video.
The current universe represented by Brahma is not permanent. In fact, it's quite temporary. Brahma only lives for 100 years and
It's
then
like a
he dies
human lifetime.
and a new universe will be born. Now, let's talk about time measurements.
I think 100 years for him, which is much
Brahma
longer
lives
for us.
100
right.
years, and each year of Brahma has 360 years. And we are currently on the first day of the 51st year of his reign.
Yeah, so the time
There
frames are
day
really
and
different.
night.
Oh, okay.
During the day, Brahma creates life, and during the night, all life he created is absorbed back into him. Therefore, we will only be there for this day of Brahma, which is the first day of his 51st year. But don't be sad.
Wow.
Let me promise you
Yeah.
that this is quite a long day.
Wait, we're there for his
Yug.
one day
Yeah, that's
Large units
of his
time.
51st.
yeah.
Think of Yug as a unit of time that is measured in thousands to millions of years. The Vishnu Puran, an ancient Hindu text, has details about these Yug measurements. A Mahayug is made up of 4 sub-yugs that are distributed in the ratio of 4:3, 3:2, 2:1. In a Mahayug, the Kali Yug is the shortest yug and lasts for 432,000 solar years, followed by the Dwapar Yug, which is twice as long as 864,000 years.
Wow.
Then there's
Basically a
Treta
lot of
Yug
years.
at 12,96,000 years, and finally the Satyug, which is 17,28,000 years. So in all, a Mahayug on Earth lasts for 4.32 million years. Manvantar, the next major unit of time after a Mahayug in ancient Indian text, is called
Oh, this is like in the
Manvantar.
ancient Indian
At
text.
the beginning of a Manvantar,
This is
you-
really cool
Yeah, you kind of want to do the math and figure out all the particulars.
because like other religions like Christianity, Judaism have like the similar creation story of like God just like created the earth in 7 days and whatever. And that doesn't resonate with me as in like maybe if it's like super metaphorical, but even like created the world, like the universe, like there was no like I've always just felt like it's just like has always existed.
So
But then like our physical life is like a manifestation, but the like universe is a never ending, always existing thing. That's what they're sort of saying. But it's cool that they're like this type of creation thing too. Like it's in the text. Like it's not only just a current theory. Obviously it's like an old religion.
Yeah,
and
but
everything. But I'm more familiar with like these other religions that aren't like this is all maybe similar to Buddhism and stuff like that.
So it resonates more with your own beliefs and maybe is a bit more scientific or something. Is that what you're saying? Or, you know, because it is
more
sort of
realistic
acknowledging
to me.
those big expanses of time. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it would be cool to like actually read the texts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
forms are created,
would have to be
and at
translated
the
to English,
end of
but-
it, those life forms are destroyed. This is how the cycle of life goes on in the ancient
evolution.
Indian texts. One Manvantar is said to last for 71 Mahayug, or 71 multiplied by 4.32 million
a lot.
years. This works out to be around 306.72 million years in total. According to these ancient texts, all life on Earth will eventually be destroyed after
Oh, really?
306.72 million years of evolution. Interestingly, around 252 million years ago, the Earth experienced its largest mass extinction event. Most species on Earth were killed. including nearly 90% to 96%.
Was it an ice age or was it the asteroid?
This
it was something
also
hitting the Earth,
Big
that's for
Bang?
sure.
mass extinction
No,
period
the Big Bang's when everything started.
Way long ago.
After each mass extinction,
Yeah, but
of
they could
life-
have their own interpretation because the other one we watched too with the other creation story watched, it's with Morgan Freeman and
Yeah, very short one.
Wasn't he saying, was it Western scientists? He was like, oh, they've hypothesized the Earth to be this many million years old or whatever. But then the Hinduism, she was like, oh, well, they think it's way older, like this many millions of whatever.
I don't quite recall.
So
but-
like, oh, okay. Well, I edited it. So it's like when you watch something like this too, you have to be open to, like they have their own version of the Big Bang, or like there wasn't just like nothing and then the Big Bang. So like I'm just seeing it through like, oh, what if like this is their interpretation of the Big Bang? Like there was already all this stuff before, and then like, oh, this was just the. But obviously, like, what's the last mass extinction?
Well, they're
was
sort
it the
of
Ice Age one or the?
you know what? It was as far as I know, the one that sort of killed out the dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, wasn't
But
that
there
the-
has been several.
But was that asteroid? I thought.
Yeah, and so that's what we just saw there. So I think they're sort
Yeah,
of.
is that the one they were talking about?
Yeah, they're sort of relating,
okay.
as far as I know, they're sort of
Yeah.
relating it to, generally accepted science.
Yeah.
So, and talking about how it fits in terms of the, 300 something million years. So that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
The Big Bang's supposed to be like there's literally no life yet at all whatsoever.
That's right. Yeah.
and
So that
then
would have been
everything
like
starts after
billions
then.
of years
But
ago.
what if that was just the very end of the last life cycle? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what people, are wondering about, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
There is a period of recovery called Sandhikal. This period lasts for
Because
one
there's been more than
Satyug,
one mass
or
extinction, too.
1.728 million
Throughout our
years.
history.
According to the latest estimates from modern science, it is believed that it took around 10 million years for life on Earth to recover after the
long time.
Permian-Triassic extinction event. As
That
you
was
can
the
see,
dinosaur
it
extinction
took our
event,
planet
wasn't it?
10 million years to get
would
back
think
to
so,
its feet
yeah.
after suffering the greatest mass extinction in history.
Please subscribe now.
And hit that bell.
Kalp, day of the Brahma or universe. The universe has a day too. Just like our day on Earth is called Kalp, the time period for one Kalp is said to be equivalent to 14 Manvantars and the Sandhikal. So, there are 14 Manvantars and 15 Sandhikals in a Kalp.
No idea what that
During the
means. but-
Sandhikal before the
neither.
first Manvantar, no
Lots to learn.
life has evolved yet. So, one Kalp
I was-
equal to 14 multiplied by 306.72 million years plus 15 multiplied by 1.728 million years, which makes it one Kalp equal to 4.32 billion years.
Whoa!
On the
What?
universal
Wow!
scale, one day is said to be 4.32
Universal.
billion
Wow, because
years
that's
long.
like
Scale.
right on par with
This
our
day
current
is divided
scientific
into a
understanding.
period of
What do you mean?
creation.
If I'm correct.
Oh, 4. Like as in like the Big Bang is supposed to have said to
I
be
think it's
4.32
because
billion years ago.
isn't the scientific consensus around like 4.6 or something like that? Like, so this is because I was kind of wondering how this was all going to add up.
That's
Jeez.
cool. Night period during which no creation takes place. Yeah. Okay. My feeling is just like the universe is just what we experience, our cycles, our day cycle, night cycle, even moon, or
It's
then
specific
moon
to our
cycle's
planet
another
even. Yeah.
extension of our cycle. Like it's just that, but on a bigger and bigger and bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, we have our physical life and then we die after like 100 years or so.
If we're
If you live
lucky.
that long.
Yeah.
And then I believe in like reincarnation of the energy, another life form, and then that's thing, and then it's alive and it dies, and then it's like, you have the creation in general, the universe is life at all in general for like however many years, and then it all dies off. It says there's a period of time where it's like that grand scale of life,
Jeez.
whatever. Like it's just like the same cycle, but longer times and on a bigger scale.
And once
Makes
again,
the
I
most
know
sense
you
to
guys
me.
have mentioned some of this. In fact, a lot of this, or perhaps all of this, in the comments before in other videos. So, we're slow learners, and math was never my strong suit. So, I'm trying to keep on track here though.
where life forms are created and a night period during which no creation takes place. Each of these periods is also 4.32 billion years long. In other words, one day of Lord Brahma on the universal scale is 8.64 billion years long. It's interesting to note that, according to modern scientific discoveries, the oldest life form on the Earth
Okay, so it's the oldest life form.
4.2 billion years old.
I knew that
Mahakalp.
that figure was attached to something.
A unit at universal scale is further extended with days and years similar on Earth, so that a month at the universal scale is 30 kalp, that is 30 universal days, and a year at the universal scale is 12 such universal months. This enables life forms to rise and fall in accordance with the karma they have earned. On the universal scale, 100 years are defined as the lifespan of a universe. This is called a Mahakalp. A universe is said to end at the end of its 100 years of age. So, the lifespan of an entire universe
There we go.
Here's the math again.
8.64
It's gonna be a long
multiplied by
one.
30 multiplied by
I've always heard
12
that Indians were really good at math.
multiplied
It's gonna go to
so,
a trillion.
years, which totals to around 311.04 trillion years. The ancient Indian texts says that our universe is currently on the first day of its 51st year. During this day, we are in the Kali Yuga of the 28th Mahayuga of the 7th Manvantar.
So just like how many years do we have though until
Have
it
left lots,
dies.
more than we can ever
Okay, so
fathom
can we
in our
say
little
that-
human brains. I think.
Can we say at least according to the Hinduism ancient texts, like we don't really need to be that concerned
Oh,
about climate change?
Oh, get out of here! Stop it!
It's gonna end anyways. Like we're probably making the process like a bit faster, but like there are cycles where
That's
there's
right.
ice age, there's higher than normal temperatures for many thousand years at a time. Like I've seen these videos where they do these like graphs, and then even if we did nothing to harm the earth, like even if we
Stopped
had no
everything
machines
tomorrow,
or
yeah.
nothing, eventually it's gonna blow up and everything's gonna die just cause.
Just because the sun's going to get too big and it's going to swallow the planet.
Because it's the
which is,
universal cycle.
all right.
So you can't avoid it eventually.
We have come to the calculation once again. According to ancient Indian texts, the age of the universe is 50 universal years plus 6 manvantars plus 7 sandhi kal plus 28 mahayug. 50 universal years
Oh my gosh.
equal to 8.64 multiplied
A
by
big
30,
calculator for this one.
multiplied by 12 multiplied by
You're gonna run out of
50
battery.
billion years
Just
equal
doing this
to
equation.
155,520 billion years. 6 manvantars. 6 multiplied by 306.72 million years equal to 1,840.32 million years. 7 sandhi kal. 7 multiplied by 1.728 million years equal to 12.096 million years. 28 mahayug. 28 multiplied by 4.32 million years equal to 120.96 million years. So, the age of the universe as per ancient Hindu texts is 157.49 trillion years. Modern science tells us that the universe is around 13.799 billion years old. However, ancient Indian texts predict a much longer timeline. Ancient Indian texts says that the age of the universe is around 311 trillion years. This video is only an attempt to appreciate the great scale of time on which ancient Indians were working. We do not come across any other ancient civilizations that talk in terms of billions or trillions of years of calculations with specific names given
That's
to
very
such
interesting.
large periods
Yeah.
of time. Like the famous
Oh, can we-
American
oh, I wanna read this.
cosmologist Carl Sagan said
This is
in
one
his
of
book,
my,
I think
uh,
she's gonna
the
narrate it.
Hindu religion
Yeah.
is the only one of the world's great faiths dedicated to the idea that the cosmos itself undergoes an immense, indeed an infinite, number of deaths and rebirths. It is the only religion in which the time scales correspond to those of modern scientific cosmology.
Yeah.
Its cycles run from our ordinary day and night to a day and night of Brahma, 8.64 billion years long. Longer than the age of the Earth or the Sun, and about half the time since the Big Bang.
Okay, and now actually,
Thank
if we
you so
don't
much, guys,
mind,
for watching this video. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe.
maybe we
if
could
you
even go
haven't
back to
already.
that real quick, that picture of Carl Sagan there, because this is actually one of my heroes. I love Carl Sagan a whole lot. He put together the TV series Cosmos back in the 80s, which was at the time the most popular sort of documentary series ever, as I understand it. He wrote the book, the fiction.
That's him there?
Yeah, that's Carl Sagan.
Is he Hindu?
No, he's not. No, and unfortunately, he passed away in I think something like 1999 or something like that.
Okay.
Sadly, he died way too young, but he was a very popularizer of science. So he would go on like the late night TV shows and teach your average people about science.
Yeah, his name's extremely familiar.
yeah,
I
he's-
just haven't delved into his work.
Yeah, he's very famous here in the West, one of the most famous scientists, contemporary scientists. And so it was so interesting to hear him name dropped here. So that was really cool.
Cool. Okay, so I'm really excited to. I had picked out a different one too that actually Jabby Coy reacted to. I just saw just now.
Okay.
I seen it. That's not grammatically correct. You've
I
told me.
saw it. Yes.
I saved this that they reacted to in a playlist. Like I didn't even know they had reacted to it at all.
Like the
crazy Hindu multiverse theory.
sort of
It's
described
like
by
a podcast. Yeah,
religious gentleman.
It said like Indian monk explains like multiverse.
Well, there you go. We got
theory,
more
Hindu
to
multiverse theory.
check out here as always.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that clip. I think it's from a longer podcast. So I think we should do that next, honestly.
There you go.
Because
Well, what do you
it's
guys
really
think?
intriguing me about the.
We're going to check it out anyways, but
I didn't know there was like this much stuff with the time lines or the time in the Hindu faith. And it's interesting because like this video brought up nothing of the other video we watched about the creation story.
It was quite different in its approach and in what it focused on. And
Like it talked about the
Mm-hmm.
Lord Vishnu and then that with the breathing and the created and then it's like the Brahma, the
There's a lot
creator,
going
the
on here.
destroyer. But the other, I thought it was just going to be a more detailed version of that story of like, they didn't even mention Shiva in this one, did they?
not that I'm aware of. And
So it was a whole different thing, which was exciting and fun because.
And one of the things
so much to
that the
it.
gal said, the narrator there, was that this is, if anything, an indication of the fact that ancient Indians were dealing with these large timescales and had an understanding that the universe is really old.
Yeah, how? Where did they come up with that?
Whereas people in the West, it's sort of like, geez, like the universe is 6,000 years old and that's super old. And to them, that was like nothing.
In the West, they were making up silly stories, in my opinion. They're like, this old white guy with a beard
Wow.
just like made the whole universe in like 7 days. And it's just
now,
like very
now there are
obviously there's
people
like
that would argue
mythology.
that the 7 days are a metaphorical 7 days, et cetera, et cetera. But this was put the number exactly where it needed to be. So that was very interesting.
And even in the beginning too, where it is talking about it was like Lord Vishnu grew like was a lotus
out of his belly button. That was interesting.
Like that's the fantastical stuff that's also in the other religions, or like that would be. But to me, that makes metaphorically more sense than like, because they represent it too as like beings that aren't just like humans like us. Like I really feel like, I don't know, I kind of grew up like Christian or whatever. I went to church, and like the way that the Bible is or like written and everything, like the creation stories, like it does seem like they depict it as like a man, like I guess God's supposed to be a god, but like they give it such like just human like features and everything that it's like hard to it's like people interpret it so literally kind of with a lot of that stuff. Like with this, like the way that it's described in the visuals, it's like, oh, this is like a metaphorical sort of thing with, and there's multiple gods. Like with Christianity, it's like there's just one God and that's it. And he made everything and whatever. And I like this, how it's got like the creator,
different gods with sort of different roles. The maintainer, wasn't that one of them?
Maintainer, the holds all the multiverse, or like, yeah, it's like the different representatives, not just like one thing. Like, I don't know, I just find like Christianity stuff, it's like so egotistical in a way where it's just like one guy did everything with no help from no one else, no other God, nothing. It's just a little bit
not
silly.
You don't resonate with it as much. We'll put it that way.
Not as much. It's teamwork because it's an ebb and a flow, and it's a symbiotic thing. It's just like how I see the relationship of nature and ecosystems, and like, or just like, yeah, just say the ocean. It's like you've got the waves, and the waves will like bring in the algae for the fish to eat. And if the waves didn't do that, then the fish would die. And then this, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So well, it's resonating with Alyssa here. So let's keep this going. Let's keep this moving, and let's check out the next video.
So if you enjoyed, click that subscribe button, click the bell, choose all from the drop downs to get updated every time we upload. Also click the like button, please, if you liked our video, and comment down below what should we react to next. What's your guys' perspective? What's your faith or beliefs, or share it all below.
Yeah. She didn't really mean that stuff for all the Christians that are watching. She was just she was just fooling around. But anyway, just kidding. We love you guys a whole lot.
I'm not meaning to offend anyone, but like every religion, I don't agree with like everything with it. Like there's even going to be things like with Hinduism probably that I'm like, oh, I believe this other way. Yeah, no shade to the Christians.
We love you, guys a whole lot. Awesome. We love all of you.
Love you guys.
And this is Internet Rabbit Hole Daily IRH.
Sign off. Bye.
Bye, guys.